your perspective. And it seems like for the men, it's like, men get a bad rap when they get frustrated, when they're discontent in a relationship. And at the same time, women get a bad rap for being assertive, for being, a little bit forward with the way that they handle things. I want to know, do you feel like that's true in any way? Or do you think that the narrative about that is a little bit...
You asked a lot of different things in that one question, so I'll break it down just a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
If we're going to talk about women being more aggressive in relationships right now, I do believe that may be true. It's not necessarily always a bad thing. Some guys do like aggressive women.
True.
Those who know what they want, they can easily say it and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
Those are, I'll say, the women of today. But then there's some who do the chasing, and I think that's where you may have some men not necessarily like it, because men are still, they like to think that they're chasing women.
What you mean?
I had this discussion with a friend recently where he was talking to someone, an older fella, and they were like, you know what? Women actually are the predators and men are the prey, not the other way around. It sounds kind of, we're taking it back to animalistic, situation, but he was like, women already know if they're going to entertain you. Mm-hmm. They already know if they're interested. They already know how far they're going to go with you, all that stuff. And they let you think that, you're doing the chasing, you're doing all this, you're doing all that, but they already knew. So they, they hold you in, and then you're prey. So you think you're doing all this stuff, but you're really not. So
oh, really?
So that's
that part.
That's what I think, old school women have, cultivated within us young ones, because we still do it. We'll entertain you. We already know how far and how not far we're going to go, but that's what it is. Now, the other question where, some men may not like it, that's true. Some men do not like, the aggressive woman.
Right.
And honestly, it depends on the kind of person. And sometimes, guess what? That person's not for you.
But I mean, sometimes it seems like when you are over aggressive, I'm talking about when you're in a relationship with someone that men feel like women don't know how to let a man be a man. And then you got the women that feel like the quality of men have dropped, and that's the reason why it seems as if they're not able to accept today's woman and still being able to adapt to.
This is going to be a history lesson.
Yeah, let's go ahead and
this is the history lesson. Me and a friend of mine, we always discuss, history of black men, the black family, and all this stuff. We would take it back to not just slavery. Well, we'll take it back to slavery, and then what's happened since that. At the end of the day, our black men were taken out of the homes, and then we have currently with the welfare system, you can't have a black man in the home, you're getting government funding, so it emasculates the man, because he feels like he cannot be in the home, but then it gives these women a lot of power where they feel, you know what, I don't need a man in the home, but I'm getting these services, correct? So we have that situation where we've taken the men out of the home, we've kept the women and given them all this so-called power, But now when we talk about dating, a woman these days feel like, we don't need the man, because if he can't financially support, because this is all coming back to finances sometimes, correct?
You telling me? I'm listening.
You
informing me, you educating me.
Okay, because some women feel that, if the man can't provide, then, all this stuff. But we need to take it back to, it's not just providing financial support, it's also providing mental stable home for a child, and also for the woman. So I think we need to get out of the finance. That's what my parents never taught me, was just, it's all about financial stuff with relationships. There's so much more to it, and I think that's where we need to kind of get back as black men and black women, where we need to go back to supporting one another emotionally, spiritually, all this other stuff.
But still, here's the thing. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm talking about what I'm trying to say is that sometimes in a relationship you have the women that okay, you have that I want a man syndrome when we're single. Then when you get a man, it's hard to keep him because you don't want to change, you don't want to adjust. And then at the same time, a level of control that you may have had before that man was, in the relationship, you want to maintain that, but then that doesn't leave a place for a man in your relationship.
I think there's some women at the end of the day, there's some men who is all about control. If that's where you're coming from, that's not the relationship for either one of you to be in, because control a relationship is also compromise most of the time. So me, I'm very independent. I'm very, I call the shots for my life personally, and I have my own business. I have a lot of stuff where, hey, I'm always in control. But then also when it comes to relationships, sometimes, hey, I don't want to be in control. You're a man, you got it. Right. But if I see that you aren't handling certain things, I'm gonna check you, because as your woman, that's what I'm also able to do. You see, and it's not checking you personally.
I don't like the way you said that.
Because guess what?
Go ahead.
Do you not check your woman if she's acting out of pocket?
I don't like the way you said check though. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I address things.
Oh God, you want to make it softer? Okay, here you'll address certain things. But the thing is, are we addressing it publicly? Because here we also are in this age where everybody wants to put their business out there.
Right.
Certain things should be handled within, conversation privately. So
they on Instagram say preach, sister.
Hello. It's a lot going on, and you ain't gonna be putting all these statuses and writing all this stuff, putting all these memes out there, and everybody's like, hold up, aren't you in a relationship? What's going on with them? So when we're coming back to control, this is not the place for control. That's where you honestly should come together, where it's not a control situation. It's us rebuilding and working towards something. You have an object. When you're dating someone, there should be a reason for dating the person. It shouldn't just be dating just to date, So if you feel like, okay, the woman's not letting you call shots, what shots are you really trying to call? Is it what we're eating? As a woman, if I'm cooking, whatever I prepare, but if I say, okay, what do you want to eat? I'm prepared.
Talking about two different things.
Okay, what are you talking about? Because control is where you're coming from.
Right, but I'm saying this is the thing here. When it comes to, like you said, you calling the shots for your life. Now you have a situation where another person is introducing the situation. What you may perceive as the way that things should go may not be the same way he may feel. And so what I'm talking about is that battle where, yes, you want to communicate, but there is a level of, okay, well, I don't know why you do things your way. I do things my way for a reason. And there's this constant back and forth, because it's not even about, who's getting control per se, but it is about the fact that you don't want to change.
I think you're going back to submission, and this is the biggest it irritates me. The word submission irritates me, right?
Why?
Because submission is not the woman's job alone. You see,
right.
Submission is both. You see, and I think we haven't. If you grew up in the church, which I did, that was what was preached.
So, do you feel like today's women are women that are able to submit, to accept?
They're able to submit to someone who allows them to do so. You see, the man has to also submit himself.
So a man has to allow the woman to submit for her to submit to her man.
A man. Okay, this is the thing. You're a guy, right? You feel that you're strong, you're able to handle certain things, right? A woman should be able to lean on you, correct?
Right.
Support, not just financially. I'm not saying that. Support. If I'm having a bad day, I can call on you. See what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel the need, like I can submit myself to you in that space. You see? So if you haven't created that space between the two of you, neither person is going to submit ever.
Right.
You see? It's always going to be a battle between, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. But if you're talking about real submission, all these arguments, petty stuff, people argue. You see what I'm saying? But if it's just something really serious, I think both have to be in the mental frame of mind where it's like, we can honestly have this discussion. That's really what it's coming to.
And then too, now here's